Hello, this is Killican, and this is the question of the day. If you were trapped in a burning building and a brave firefighter broke down the door to carry you to safety, would you demand they take off their face mask to prove they were the same color as you, or at very least not white? Would you? According to the Walt Disney Company's recent employee training session, which was even more recently dropped like the bad joke it was, the answer is yes. Disney's diversity and inclusion campaign had about as much diversity as Soviet Russia and all the inclusion of a Klan rally. Basically a declaration of war on all things white, the typical lineup: white privilege, white supremacy, and something called white fragility. Not sure how that last one works, being that whites are supposed to be somehow privileged and supreme, quote unquote, but don't worry, none of it makes sense anyway. Oh yeah, and a condemnation of the quote unquote white savior. I guess white people can be slave masters, but just not the Billy Yanks who freed said slaves with blood, toil, tears, and sweat. I guess white people can be German socialists with Viking runes stitched into their Napoleonic uniforms, while they give the Roman salute, but not the vast majority of the fighting force that toppled the flipping Third Reich. A white guy can be an oppressive and ruthless king, but not the brave and gallant prince who slays the menacing dragon. And to add insult to injury, as if they hadn't already, you cannot question whether a black person is oppressed today or not. Yeah, you cannot question. A black dude says a cop pulled him over just because he's black. You cannot ask if he's sure he wasn't speeding. A white cop shoots a black kid. You cannot ask if it had something to do with the fact that said black kid had a knife and was trying to stab a girl, who was herself black. I mean, all through my education, I've been taught of the great philosopher Socrates, who literally said to question everything. Years later, his pupil Plato said, and I quote, "This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs," unquote. And now, a massive corporation with immense power over its employees is telling them they cannot question something. Plus, they naturally insisted that America was founded on systemic racism, even though slavery existed in the Americas centuries before the founding of the United States, and even before white people came to the Americas, albeit without color coding. Plus, slavery wasn't the social and industrial powerhouse we remember it as until after the invention of the cotton gin. A couple decades after the revolution. But hey, why bother with pesky little things like facts? After all, feelings are a lot more important. Unless, of course, you're white, in which case, your feelings are racist. To be fair, I probably should have seen this coming, considering Disney's lack of backlash for a despot banning one of their most beloved characters, thanking an arm of the Chinese government holding an entire ethnic/religious minority in bondage, deleting fan-favorite character Mushu from the remake of Mulan, and covering and/or shrinking the faces of black leading characters on their Chinese billboards. It's obvious to me the CEOs of Disney care more about pandering to the red overlords of China than they do for the country and people who made them so wealthy to begin with. Propagandize away, you corporate commie-kissing cucks, but know this. Your little white guilt brainwashing bullshit brought me within a millimeter of canceling my Disney Plus. Even now, after you rightfully shit-canned it, I only keep that subscription flowing to watch your old movies and shows. The stuff you made back when you were standing up to Marxist dictatorships instead of kissing up to them. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and share, don't forget to subscribe, and peace out.